she is pretty beat. She's pretty beat. Even with that pimple right there, she still beat. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long time. It's been 2 years, probably close to 3 since my last upload. And there's many reasons why that is. But honestly, that's not the video for that. And I'm feeling super nervous. Calm, Zen, you got this. Honestly, it's because it's really been a minute. Today's video, as you can tell by the title, I really wanted to talk about, despite what 2020 has been, I'm sure we can find something to be thankful about. There's many things I'm still thankful for that's happened this year, regardless of how 2020 has just been banging our heads like up and down all around. Like it just feels like 2020 did not come to play with anybody. Like I like to say, God is still on the throne. Well, today's video, we're just gonna play in some makeup. It's kind of like a chit chat, get ready with me. I have a ton of Fenty stuff. You know, Sephora just had a VIB sale. I already had Fenty Beauty, but I kind of picked up a few more. So let's just get right into the video. Let's just be in good spirit and just have a good time. Okay, let's go. So I did my brows off camera because I forgot to pick up pencils, but it's okay. We move. Okay, so we're gonna just go ahead and just get into the eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Fenty Pro Filter Concealer in the shade 420, and I'm just gonna use this as a base for my eyeshadow. So we all say Happy New Year, right? 2019 is over. We're like, Happy New Year. This is our year. We literally all made plans of what 2020 would be for us. And 20 was like, haha, joke's on you. I got something else coming for you. So I initially had plans to come back to YouTube around like February, March. That's when I had planned to like relaunch my channel, you know, really get it together. Then it was kind of like, you know, what happened in January, the loss of Kobe and the 9 other passengers on the flight. That kind of shook me because I just didn't understand how something like that could happen. And, you know, I think that kind of impacted a lot of people around the world. If I remember correctly, it happened around late January. So people, I felt like, were still in February, was trying to like just grasp like how could something like this happen. Then March, Corona. So I'm going in with the Snap Shadows, and this one is the number 3, and this is the Deep Neutrals. So initially when this happened, ooh, that is pigmented. Okay, that was really pigmented. We all initially kind of heard about COVID. We just didn't really know much. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was frightened. The world was in a fit of panic. And then we went on lockdown. So now when we went on lockdown, it went from this unknown scary thing to now just this sense of just being overwhelmed all the time. Before that, my daughter was in school. We were living like a normal life, right? We were just going on about our day. You know, while she was in school, I had that break to do the things that I need to do, run errands, tend to like my business or whatever. And now she was home 24 hours. Like, if you have any friends who have kids, they needed to be checked on. Like, they desperately needed to be checked on because it wasn't easy at all living with your spouse 24 hours, 7 days a week. Even speaking to like my other friends who live with their spouses, we were all like, oh girl, I want to kill him, you know? So it went from just like this day-to-day normal life, a whole new norm that I don't think anybody was really prepared for. So tie in that feeling of not knowing what this coronavirus is about, then having to deal with your own personal stuff that's going on in your household. There isn't anybody who didn't feel the effects of 2020, regardless of economic status, regardless of your educational level. Everybody was affected. And I think that in itself is very humbling. Corona did not pick and choose what life it took. It saw no color, it saw no gender. That was literally just the beginning. Then through the rest of the year, the death of Breonna Taylor, the death of George Floyd, and so many other senseless killings. Like I can't even, like I'm trying to just talk off the top of my head and just remember the things that have happened, and it's a lot. So it literally felt like every other month something was messing with your mental state. I honestly felt like every other month I was crying about something, be it something that was happening on a global scale or something that was just happening in my own personal life. So imagine like we're dealing with just everything you see on TV, right? That everybody is experiencing. And then you're also dealing with your own personal what's in your home that nobody knows about. Something that I've always been taught growing up, in everything you still have to be thankful about something. You have to find something to be thankful about, because literally if you don't, you can find yourself going down this really, really deep hole of just sadness, feeling like just wanting to give up. Kind of like, as everything is happening, I had to go back to what I knew growing up. And I think what 2020 forced us to do is stop, sit down, take a breather. This is a little dry. I actually wanted to do this in the beginning, but I forgot. Pro Filter, and this is the Pro Kisser Luscious Lip Balm. I really, really like this. I might just do all the talking because I'm really active on Instagram, so I ain't have to talk too much. Just do the tutorials. It's really forced us to sit down, pay attention to the things that I feel like we kind of took for granted. Me, I personally was struggling with being consistent with reading my Bible. I'm not gonna lie. One of the things that I'm grateful for about this year, that it has really actually allowed me to sit down and open up the good book. Through that, I've been able to find peace. In this year, I feel like people are just looking for peace of mind. They're looking for some type of just stillness in all this craziness. And for me, I found that in the Word. In really just getting into the Word and just kind of looking for scriptures and stories that would kind of talk to what I was feeling. Feeling anxious, I'm feeling fearful, nervous, and things. I would just be like, yo, I need a word. I need something. I need something to just give me a peace that literally surpasses all human understanding. What I feel like I was trying to do in the beginning was, like love up on my family and love up on my husband and daughter, which I do regardless. They are my world. They also get on your nerves. As much as you love up on them, they love up on you. They require from you mentally, physically, emotionally. And I was just really looking for something that didn't require anything of me. I was looking for something that would just fill me up, okay, so I can be able to tackle whatever it is that was coming. And the only thing that I was able to find that could really do that was the Word, was talking to God, going to Him, casting however I was feeling on Him, because that's what the Bible tells us to do. We're not meant to carry this alone. And let me tell you, 2020, we were not supposed to carry 2020 alone. In reading the Word, this is how I would do it. I have like a few journal books with verses in it. I'll kind of tell you, okay, if you're looking to read about being confident, if you're looking to read about feeling anxious or fear, whatever like that, this is the verses you should go to. And then I also would just go on Google and say, what does the Bible say about fear? What does the Bible say about anxiety? And then I would go through that. And if I felt like, yeah, this verse is what I'm looking for, I would go to that and I would read the whole chapter to kind of get the context of what it was saying. And in doing that, I picked out 3 verses that really stuck out to me. And I meditate on those verses daily. Because even when it felt like, okay, we finally get a month off, it doesn't seem like the world is ending, the next month will come and it'll be something. Just give y'all the 3 verses in case, it speaks to you. One of the first verses is 2 Timothy 1:7, and it said, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, yes, this is what I need. We came into this year like, this is the plans that we have, blah, blah, blah. Each time I said, okay, I'm going to sit down and film a YouTube video. Boom, something would happen. I feel like, oh my God, no. It would get to me and I would just be in a place where it's like, I can't do this. I'm not doing this. Just everything that's happening to me, very, very anxious. So when I read that, it's the answer to how I was feeling. I just needed sound mind. I didn't want the spirit of fear anymore. I didn't want the spirit of being anxious. Those things, it can cripple you if you let it. I had did my eyeliner and my eyelashes off camera because I forgot to pick up the eyeliner and the mascara. But it's still a Fenty face. I just forgot a few eye products. So we're just gonna go ahead and just jump into the face. I'm going to be using the Soft Silk Pro Filter Hydrating Primer. So another one of my go-to verses is Philippians 4:6-7. And it says, "Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus." And the last one is Psalms 55:22. "Cast your burden unto the Lord, and He shall sustain you. He shall never permit the righteous to be moved." It's like the answers that you're looking for is right there. If you're someone like myself, I grew up in the church. You hear it all the time. Your parents will tell you, the people in the church will tell you. I feel that in having a personal relationship with God, you yourself who has to go looking for the answers. I am someone, I pray, I worship, like I love to worship, I love to sing to God, but I do struggle with just getting into the scriptures, and that's just being very transparent. But for me, because I was looking for a peace that surpasses all human understanding, I went to the Bible. And literally, what I was looking for verbatim was there. I'm just going to do a little bit of color correcting. So I'm going to be taking the Fenty Pro Filter, and this is in the shade 490. This is my skin tone color. These three verses was my go-to. So it's like regardless of whatever 2020 was giving us, and it gave us a lot, I couldn't allow myself to be anxious. I couldn't allow it to stop me and not, in a sense, live. And that was something that I kind of fought with a little bit, was like, how can I say I need to live when 2020 took the lives of many people? It's like, how can you be happy? But that's the thing, you don't act like it didn't happen. And you don't question, because we will never fully understand. You just commit to God. This is what I'm feeling. Help me to get through how I'm feeling. Help me to just find the hope on the other side. And that takes time. It won't happen overnight. You have to still live because you're still able to. I think one of the things that many of us probably took for granted is waking up in the morning. And although like life is a gift, I think we were still moving so fast. Last month was my birthday, and it just hit really different for me because hearing on the news all the lives that have been lost, not just due to COVID, but senseless acts of violence, police brutality. You really just say, God, I thank you. It's only by your grace, only by your mercy that I'm able to sit here and speak to you guys, and you're able to hear what I'm saying. There's a reason why I'm here, why you're here. Maybe this time, just explore it. I'll be like, God, what's my purpose? What you want me to do? You spared my life. It's to be useful for something. I want to know why. Tell me. Something like that. So for foundation, I'm going to be using the Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation. Outside of these scriptures, like there's so many more that speak on however it is you're feeling. So I've been reading on these scriptures and just reading the Bible in general to just get a better understanding. And then October hits, and SARS. I am Nigerian American, first generation. But something that was a lot different for me this time compared to how I was feeling in the beginning half of the year. I wasn't scared. I wasn't anxious. But this time, what I felt empowered. Don't get me wrong, still very much angry. How can you treat people like this? The Lecky massacre, like all those lives that were lost. But when I say that I felt empowered, was that for months I had just been filling myself with the Word of God. I had been building a closer relationship with Christ. Like it says in the Bible, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. Had been consistently calling on His name. I feel like that's what it made me. It gave me a strength and a peace from within. Every time I would talk about NSARS on my Instagram, I was always coming from a place of Nigeria will rise after this. That God is still on the throne. It's like weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning. There is hope after this. To cream contour, I'm going to be using Toffee Please. You're still going to feel, because we're human, we feel. You could feel what's going on, but you're not going to break down from it because you've been leaning on my word, been leaning on me, and I'm going to carry the burden for you. God, I can't carry this burden. I don't want to carry the burden of 2020 by myself here. And that's what He told us to do. Again, cast your burden on the Lord, and He shall sustain you. And so, with all of this being said, I have found many things to be grateful for in this year. I told myself coming into 2020, you had a lot of plans. Although not everything happened the way you planned to, some things I didn't do, some things I did do. I said that I wanted to come back to YouTube. I feel like YouTube is the oven of social media, whereas Instagram is like the microwave. Everything's quick. When it comes to makeup, I like to teach, and I feel like I can't really do that in the capacity that I want to on Instagram. Like, I've been very active on Instagram for the past 2 years. I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty, and this is in the shade Cashew to set our concealer. With what I want to do, how I want to reach people, Instagram is not the only tool, but I needed something where I can really connect. I decided if I do anything this year, besides just having my mental be stable, like, you know what I'm saying? I want to get back on YouTube. And the reason why it took me so long, especially like I told you with the year, just how the year was going. The question, like, if I come back, what do I say? Man, when you are aligned and you're walking in your purpose, the answers come. I was talking with a friend of mine. I want to come back to YouTube, but how do I come back and be impactful? My friend was kind of like, well, you know, Thanksgiving is coming around. Can you do anything with that? And I was kind of like, I can talk about how thankful I've been. Despite 2020, I am still thankful. If I just sit down and take 5 minutes out of my day, I can find something to be thankful about. However it is that I'm feeling, I'm going to take it to God and I'm going to lay it at His feet and say, God told me to cast these burdens unto you. And while I do that, while I just lay these things of how I feel at your feet, I'm still going to thank you. For me, it's been therapeutic. I don't even know if therapeutic is the right word, but that's what it's been for me, because it allows me to not be so consumed in what's not going right. Allow Him to just be in control and praise Him through it all. Thank Him through it all. Worship Him through it all. I'm going to come back to YouTube. I'm just going to talk to everyone about, I know 2020 has been rough. From the top of the year till now, it's been many things, but I want us to find something to be thankful for. And one of the first things that we can start off with, honestly, and if you guessed what I'm about to say, you guessed right, is just being thankful for the gift of life. I never thought I would see something like this in my own lifetime. The bronze, I'm going to use the Fenty Sun Stalker in Mocha Mami. It just allows you to see that you're still on the earth. You still have a story to write. You still have a story to tell. You still have a soul to read. And while we're here, let's not take it for granted. And as you meditate on that, and as you go to God about that, you will find many, many more reasons to be thankful. For blush, I'm going to be using the Cream Blush Summertime Wine. I've never really expected to do a video like this. You know, I never thought I would be coming on here quoting Bible verses and really talking about God. For me, it's a very personal relationship and it's different for everybody. Some people are very vocal about it. Some people, not private in the sense of like hiding, because no, it's not hiding, but I just feel like my relationship with God is very personal to me. But I do know that through speaking about our experiences, through just our walk, we do inspire people. And I think a part of that is being a little bit more open about who I am, what I believe, what I like to do. I love me some Jesus and have a good time. My walk with God is a part of me. Literally before I sat down to film this video, I said a prayer like, God, just speak. However you want me to speak, what do you want me to say? Just do that. And there was things that I didn't even want to talk about that I actually ended up coming in here and talking about. You know, God be working. Fenty highlighter, and this is in Kilowatt. Oh, I OD'd. I forgot how powerful this is. It's okay, we just gonna take a little bit of our powder. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and just give anybody a little bit of hope, whoever needs it. I just pray whoever comes across this video, it was able to touch you. It was able to just give you something to lean on, a word to be confident in. You feel like maybe you were looking for an answer, and I hope you were able to find it here. If all you find to do this year is just work on your mental health, you've done a lot. Don't let anyone guilt you if you didn't start a small business, if you didn't read 1,000 books, if you didn't post on Instagram or YouTube every single day. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's mental capacity, emotional capacity, physical capacity is different. Most importantly, you really had to just take care of yourself. To even give to other people, you had to make sure you were in a place to do that. So we're almost done with the look. This look came out pretty fire. Oh, coming back to YouTube, I think for me, this channel, it could honestly be a little bit of everything. I know that as long as I'm giving you guys me, I promise you, I'm not that much of a handful. I'm really, really not. Sometimes, I don't know. Depends on who you ask. But that's pretty much what I wanted to come on here and say today. Really felt like this would be something that can really touch someone. You know, reintroduce ourselves to one another. Hi, I'm Diella, and you are. Write your name below in the comments. So the last step, use this refreshing spray. Absolutely love this spray. I necessarily wouldn't use it to set my makeup, but because it's not really for setting, it's more of a refreshing mist if you're just feeling dry. This is what I would use as a beginning step to just refresh my face before I put on makeup. But I forgot to do that at the beginning, so we're gonna do it right now because it's part of my Fenty face. Even though I missed about 3 products, but don't tell Riri that. Okay? Okay. So here is the final look. Didn't mean to put as much highlighter as I did, but she pigmented. Like I said, this video was not just to beat my face. She is pretty beat. She's pretty beat. Even with that pimple right there, she still beat. Just to give an encouraging word to whomever needed it. Because even as I spoke to you guys, I was also talking to myself. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I honestly cannot wait to put out more content and just really have moments like this. And then also, you know, really fun moments. I really am excited. I will see you guys in my next video.